The gas lamps flickered in the dense London fog as Jack the Ripper, the notorious and elusive murderer, prowled the cobblestone streets of Whitechapel. It was a night like any other, shrouded in mystery and shadows, when the boundaries between reality and fantasy blurred. The air was thick with an unnatural tension, and the city seemed to hold its breath as the Ripper prepared to strike again. Detective Jonathan Harper, a seasoned investigator with a reputation for solving the most gruesome crimes, found himself at the center of the Ripper's deadly game. The Scotland Yard was under immense pressure to capture the elusive killer, whose gruesome acts had sent shockwaves throughout the city. But little did Harper know that this case would lead him to the darkest corners of both history and fantasy. Harper paced the dimly lit halls of the police station, haunted by the faces of the Ripper's victims. The newspapers were rife with gruesome tales of the murders, each one more horrific than the last. The killer seemed to possess an otherworldly ability to strike without a trace, leaving behind a trail of blood-soaked nightmares. One evening, as Harper delved into the details of the case, a mysterious figure appeared at the entrance of the police station. The stranger, clad in a tattered cloak, seemed to materialize from the shadows themselves. His eyes glowed with an unnatural intensity, and the air around him hummed with an otherworldly energy. "Detective Harper," the stranger spoke, his voice sending shivers down Harper's spine. "I know the secrets that elude your investigation. Follow me, and I will lead you to the heart of the Ripper's darkness." Intrigued and desperate for answers, Harper hesitated for a moment before deciding to follow the mysterious stranger. The gas lamps cast long, wavering shadows as they moved through the labyrinthine streets of Whitechapel, the fog weaving an eerie tapestry around them. The stranger introduced himself as Ezekiel Blackthorne, a man with knowledge that transcended the boundaries of the tangible world. He claimed to have insights into the Ripper's true nature, a being that had crossed the threshold between the living and the dead, fueled by an insatiable hunger for fear and suffering. As they ventured deeper into the heart of the East End, Blackthorne revealed a secret history intertwined with the Ripper's deeds. Centuries ago, a coven of dark sorcerers had summoned a malevolent entity known as the Spectral Harbinger. The entity fed on the fear and anguish of the living, taking on a physical form to carry out its dark desires. The Ripper, Blackthorne explained, was a vessel for the Spectral Harbinger, a puppet manipulated by forces that defied the natural order. The murders served as a ritual to empower the entity, allowing it to cross between the realms at will. The blood spilled on the cobblestones of Whitechapel was an offering, a macabre tribute to sustain the Spectral Harbinger's existence. Harper struggled to comprehend the fantastical tale unfolding before him. Yet, the evidence was undeniable: the Ripper's ability to elude capture, the gruesome precision of the murders, and the chilling aura that lingered at the crime scenes. The duo's journey took them to hidden passages and forgotten catacombs beneath the city, where the walls echoed with the tortured whispers of the past. Blackthorne revealed ancient runes and symbols etched into the stones, remnants of the dark rituals that had bound the Spectral Harbinger to the mortal realm. As Harper delved deeper into the occult mysteries, he felt a growing unease. The lines between reality and fantasy blurred, and he questioned his own sanity. But the truth awaited him in the heart of the East End, where the final confrontation with the Spectral Harbinger loomed. The night was thick with anticipation as Harper and Blackthorne reached an abandoned warehouse, its dilapidated structure a fitting backdrop for the impending showdown. The air crackled with malevolence as the Spectral Harbinger materialized before them, a shadowy figure with eyes that burned like hellfire. "You meddle in affairs beyond your comprehension, detective," the entity hissed, its voice a chorus of tortured souls. "The Ripper's legacy is eternal, and your feeble attempts to stop me only fuel my power." A battle between the mortal and the supernatural unfolded in the spectral glow of the gas lamps. Blackthorne chanted ancient incantations, invoking protective wards to shield them from the Harbinger's malevolence. Harper, armed with a newfound resolve, confronted the entity with a courage born from the depths of human tenacity. The warehouse echoed with the clash of forces as the Spectral Harbinger unleashed its dark magic. Shadows danced and writhed, and the very fabric of reality seemed to unravel. Harper fought with all his strength, driven by a determination to put an end to the terror that had gripped the city. In a moment of revelation, Harper realized that the Spectral Harbinger drew strength from the fear it instilled in the hearts of the living. With newfound clarity, he confronted the entity not with violence, but with an unwavering defiance that echoed through the ages. "You thrive on fear, but I refuse to be your puppet," Harper declared, his words resonating with the strength of humanity's indomitable spirit. The air quivered as the Spectral Harbinger recoiled, weakened by the absence of fear that had fueled its existence. Blackthorn continued his incantations, binding the entity with ancient magic that transcended time and space. The warehouse trembled as the forces clashed, and the very foundations of the supernatural realm quaked. In a blinding burst of ethereal light, the Spectral Harbinger was banished from the mortal realm, leaving only an echo of its haunting presence. The warehouse returned to silence, the gas lamps flickering in the aftermath of the otherworldly battle. As dawn broke over the city, Harper stood amidst the ruins of the warehouse, his weary eyes reflecting the weight of the night's revelations. The Ripper's reign of terror had ended, not with the capture of a mortal killer, but with the defeat of an ancient evil that had haunted the shadows of history. Blackthorn, his mission fulfilled, faded into the mist like a phantom of the past. The secrets of the supernatural and the horrors of Jack the Ripper became a part of London's dark folklore, a tale whispered in the quiet corners of cobblestone streets. Detective Harper returned to the police station, haunted by the surreal events that had unfolded. The city, oblivious to the fantastical battle fought beneath its surface, slowly resumed its daily rhythm. The Ripper's legacy had become a chapter in a history that only a chosen few would remember. As Harper glanced at the newspaper headlines declaring the end of the Whitechapel murders, he couldn't shake the feeling that the true story remained untold. The line between historical facts and fantasy had blurred, leaving behind a lingering mystery that would forever shroud the identity of Jack the Ripper and the supernatural forces that had shaped his deadly reign. Detective Jonathan Harper returned to the routine of his daily life, though the supernatural encounter with the Spectral Harbinger continued to linger in his thoughts like a ghostly specter. The newspapers hailed him as the hero who had put an end to the Whitechapel murders, but deep within, he knew the true nature of the threat that had plagued London. In the days that followed, Harper delved into the records of the ancient coven and the dark rituals that had bound the Spectral Harbinger to the mortal realm. The dusty archives of forbidden knowledge revealed the names of those who had invoked the malevolent entity and the sinister pact that had given rise to Jack the Ripper. As Harper continued his investigation, a series of cryptic messages arrived at his doorstep. Each letter bore a seal that he recognized from the occult symbols Blackthorn had shown him. The messages spoke of a lingering darkness, a remnant of the Spectral Harbinger's influence that still clung to the city like a curse. Haunted by a sense of responsibility, Harper embarked on a quest to unravel the mysteries that had eluded him during the supernatural confrontation. The trail led him to hidden enclaves and secretive societies that guarded ancient secrets. As he delved deeper into the occult, he encountered individuals with knowledge beyond the realms of mortal understanding. One such figure, a mysterious woman named Isabella Ravenscroft, emerged from the shadows. Isabella was a scholar of arcane lore, her eyes holding a wisdom that transcended her age. She claimed to possess insights into the lingering darkness that Harper sought to dispel. The Spectral Harbinger may be banished, detective, but its influence endures, Isabella explained in a hushed tone, her words echoing in a hidden chamber filled with ancient tomes. The city harbors remnants of the malevolence that once gripped Whitechapel. To truly cleanse London, we must delve into the heart of the supernatural and confront the residual shadows. Harper, driven by a sense of duty and a lingering unease, joined forces with Isabella. Together, they ventured into forgotten catacombs beneath the city, where the walls bore witness to centuries of arcane rituals. The air was thick with a palpable energy, and the shadows seemed to whisper secrets long kept in the dark. Isabella revealed that the Spectral Harbinger had left behind echoes of its essence, fragments of malevolence that clung to the city's fabric. These spectral remnants manifested as twisted visions, haunting dreams, and pockets of darkness that defied logical explanation. As they explored the hidden recesses of the supernatural, Harper and Isabella encountered otherworldly beings that had long been confined to the shadows. Spirits of the past, tortured souls seeking redemption, and entities that defied classification crossed their path. Each encounter added a layer of complexity to the mystery, revealing a tapestry of supernatural forces interwoven with the city's history. One night, as they investigated a particularly ominous location, Isabella uncovered an ancient grimoire that detailed a ritual capable of purging the lingering malevolence. The ritual, however, required a delicate balance of spiritual energy and a profound understanding of the forces at play. In their quest for knowledge, Harper and Isabella sought the guidance of individuals with unique insights into the supernatural. A reclusive medium, Madame Serafina, possessed the ability to commune with the spirits of the beyond. Her dimly lit parlor became a sanctuary where the living and the dead converged. Madame Serafina's eyes clouded over as she entered a trance, her voice resonating with the echoes of ethereal realms. The spirits whispered tales of the Spectral Harbinger's influence, guiding Harper and Isabella towards a convergence of spiritual energy that could tip the balance in favor of the living. The ritual required the gathering of artifacts imbued with both darkness and light, symbols of the eternal struggle between good and evil. Harper and Isabella embarked on a quest to locate these artifacts, a journey that took them to hidden corners of London, from forgotten crypts to abandoned manors with a history steeped in the supernatural. As they gathered the necessary components, the city seemed to react to their actions. The remnants of the Spectral Harbinger grew restless, manifesting in eerie phenomena that tested their resolve. Harper found himself haunted by visions of the Ripper's victims, phantoms that sought justice from beyond the grave. The climax of their quest brought them to an ancient church, its stones bearing witness to centuries of prayers and rituals. The artifacts were arranged in a sacred pattern, and Isabella began to chant incantations from the ancient grimoire. The air shimmered with a tangible energy as the ritual unfolded, drawing upon the gathered artifacts and the spiritual resonance of the city itself. As the ritual reached its crescendo, a spectral vortex materialized before them, swirling with the essence of the Spectral Harbinger. The very fabric of reality seemed to waver as Harper and Isabella confronted the malevolent force that lingered in the shadows. "You cannot banish me," the entity's disembodied voice echoed through the vortex. "I am eternal, a part of the city's dark history." Isabella, her voice unwavering, countered with a chant that invoked the spirits of the past, present, and future. The vortex pulsed with a blinding light as the artifacts resonated with the spiritual energy harnessed by the ritual. In a climactic surge, the Spectral Harbinger's essence recoiled, its influence severed from the city's fabric. The vortex dissipated, leaving behind a calm that seemed to wash over the ancient church like a cleansing tide. As the echoes of the supernatural confrontation faded, Harper and Isabella stood amidst the artifacts, their breaths heavy with the weight of the ordeal. The city outside the church seemed to exhale, the lingering darkness dispersing like morning mist before the dawn. London, once shrouded in the malevolence of the Ripper's legacy, now bore the marks of a different history. Harper, Isabella, and the forgotten heroes of the supernatural had rewritten the city's narrative, dispelling the lingering shadows that had haunted its cobblestone streets. In the aftermath, Harper returned to his role at Scotland Yard, his experiences etched into the fabric of his being. Isabella, having fulfilled her purpose, vanished into the folds of the occult, a guardian of secrets that transcended mortal understanding. As the years passed, the tale of Detective Jonathan Harper and the battle against the Spectral Harbinger became a whispered legend, passed down through the generations. London, forever changed by the events that unfolded in its darkest corners, continued to evolve, its streets alive with the echoes of a history that intertwined reality and fantasy. And so, the city carried within its stones the scars of a supernatural battle, a story that transcended the boundaries of time and space. The legacy of Jack the Ripper, once rooted in horror and fear, had transformed into a testament to the resilience of humanity and the enduring power of those who dared to confront the shadows that lurked beyond the veil. Years passed since Detective Jonathan Harper and Isabella Ravenscroft had confronted the Spectral Harbinger and cleansed the city of its malevolent influence. The supernatural battle became a fading memory, woven into the tapestry of London's history. Harper, now an older and wiser man, had retired from the force, but the echoes of the past continued to resonate within him. One fog-laden evening, Harper found himself drawn to a familiar part of London, Whitechapel. The East End had transformed over the years, yet the whispers of the past still lingered in the shadows. As he walked through the cobbled streets, memories of the spectral battle and the enigmatic Isabella flooded back. The gas lamps cast long, wavering shadows as Harper approached a nondescript building that had once served as a clandestine meeting place during the investigation. The memories of the occult symbols, arcane incantations, and the haunting presence of the Spectral Harbinger felt like a distant dream, and yet, the weight of those experiences clung to him like an unseen cloak. Inside the building, Harper discovered a hidden chamber, long forgotten and undisturbed. The air held a quiet reverence, as if the spirits of the past acknowledged his return. In the center of the room, he found an old journal, Isabella's journal. Its pages were filled with sketches of symbols, cryptic notes, and insights into the supernatural mysteries that had unfolded in the East End. As Harper perused the journal, a revelation struck him. Isabella had left behind a guide, a legacy for those who might encounter the remnants of the Spectral Harbinger in the future. The journal spoke of a delicate balance that needed to be maintained to prevent the resurgence of the malevolent force. Haunted by a sense of duty, Harper resolved to carry on the work that he and Isabella had started. He embarked on a journey to seek out individuals with the knowledge and skills required to uphold the balance and protect the city from the lingering darkness. Harper's quest led him to the fringes of society, where whispers of the supernatural were spoken in hushed tones. He encountered practitioners of forgotten arts, scholars of occult lore, and those who had inherited the responsibilities of ancient guardians. Together, they formed a clandestine network dedicated to monitoring the spiritual equilibrium of London. The city, oblivious to the unseen guardians, thrived in an era of progress and innovation. Yet, beneath the surface, the remnants of the Spectral Harbinger's influence lingered, testing the resolve of the protectors who stood vigil over the metaphysical boundaries that separated the living from the supernatural. As the years passed, Harper became a mentor to a new generation of investigators, passing down the knowledge and insights he had gained. The Guardians evolved into an organized order, their actions veiled in secrecy as they navigated the delicate balance between the tangible and the ethereal. One night, a mysterious figure emerged from the shadows, a woman with a cloak that seemed to absorb the very essence of the darkness. She introduced herself as Lysandra, a guardian who had inherited the mantle from her ancestors. Her eyes held a depth of knowledge that resonated with Harper's own experiences. Lysandra, the city stands on the precipice of a delicate equilibrium, Harper explained, sharing the secrets of the Spectral Harbinger and the perpetual vigilance required to maintain balance. We are the guardians, the custodians of a history that transcends the boundaries of time and space. Lysandra, though initially skeptical, recognized the weight of the responsibility thrust upon her. She embraced her role with determination, learning the ancient arts and rituals that connected her to the spiritual realm. Harper became her guide, sharing the wisdom passed down through the generations. Together, they encountered pockets of supernatural disturbances that hinted at the lingering influence of the Spectral Harbinger. They confronted restless spirits, quelled spectral disturbances, and ensured that the delicate balance of the city remained undisturbed. As Lysandra delved deeper into the mysteries of the supernatural, she uncovered a forgotten prophecy that spoke of a potential resurgence of the Spectral Harbinger. The prophecy hinted at a cosmic alignment that could awaken the dormant malevolence, unleashing a force that transcended even the previous encounter. Harper and Lysandra, now bound by a shared destiny, embarked on a quest to decipher the prophecy and prevent the impending catastrophe. Their journey took them to ancient libraries, mystical shrines, and hidden archives that held clues to the celestial alignments and the rituals required to avert disaster. The prophecy, written in cryptic verses, revealed that the cosmic alignment coincided with a rare celestial event, the convergence of 3 blood moons. The spectral energy released during this celestial alignment had the potential to breach the barriers between worlds, allowing the Spectral Harbinger to return in a more formidable form. As the appointed time approached, Harper and Lysandra prepared for a battle that transcended the physical and spiritual realms. They sought the guidance of the other guardians, forming a united front against the impending darkness. The Order, now a network spanning across London, joined forces to reinforce the spiritual barriers that protected the city. The night of the celestial convergence arrived, casting an eerie glow over the city. The blood moons loomed in the night sky, their crimson radiance casting an ominous pallor over the landscape. Harper, Lysandra, and the Guardians gathered at the heart of London, where the ancient forces converged. As the cosmic energies intensified, an ethereal vortex materialized before them. The spectral echoes of the Spectral Harbinger stirred, seeking to breach the barriers that held it at bay. The Guardians, armed with ancient artifacts and guided by the knowledge passed down through the ages, stood united against the impending threat. In the climactic battle, the boundaries between the living and the supernatural blurred. Harper, drawing upon the experiences of his past, channeled the resilience of humanity to confront the spectral force. Lysandra, guided by the ancient arts, invoked protective incantations to reinforce the spiritual barriers. The celestial convergence reached its zenith, and the Spectral Harbinger manifested in a form more formidable than before. The air crackled with malevolence as the entity sought to break free from the metaphysical shackles that bound it. The Guardians fought with an unwavering determination, their collective strength a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The battle raged on, the very fabric of reality quivering under the strain of the supernatural confrontation. In a moment of revelation, Lysandra uncovered a forgotten ritual within the pages of an ancient grimoire, a ritual capable of sealing the Spectral Harbinger once and for all. The Guardians, their resolve undiminished, enacted the ritual with precision, drawing upon the combined spiritual energy of the city and the cosmic forces that governed the alignment. As the ritual unfolded, the celestial convergence reached its climax. The Spectral Harbinger, its malevolent form writhing in the spectral vortex, recoiled against the surge of opposing energies. The very essence of the entity seemed to unravel as the ritual channeled the combined strength of the Guardians. In a blinding burst of light, the spectral vortex collapsed upon itself, sealing the Spectral Harbinger within an ethereal prison. The blood moons faded, and the celestial energies returned to their cosmic dance. The city, once on the brink of supernatural upheaval, settled into an eerie calm. Harper and Lysandra stood amidst the aftermath of the cosmic battle, their breaths heavy with the weight of the ordeal. The other Guardians, their faces illuminated by the lingering glow of the celestial convergence, shared a collective sense of relief. The prophecy had been averted, and the Spectral Harbinger's influence lay dormant once more. The Guardians, their duty fulfilled, dispersed into the shadows, their actions known only to those who carried the weight of London's supernatural history. As Harper and Lysandra gazed at the night sky, now devoid of the ominous crimson glow, a sense of closure washed over them. The city, with its streets paved in both cobblestone and ethereal energy, bore witness to a history that intertwined reality and fantasy. In the aftermath, Lysandra assumed the role of a guardian, carrying the mantle passed down through generations. Harper, now aged and weary, found solace in the knowledge that a new generation had arisen to uphold the balance. The echoes of the supernatural battles he had faced lingered within him, a testament to the enduring connection between the living and the unseen. The legacy of Detective Jonathan Harper, Isabella Ravenscroft, and the Guardians who stood against the Spectral Harbinger became a whispered legend, a tale shared among those who dared to delve into the hidden mysteries of the city. London, forever marked by the events that unfolded within its streets, continued to thrive as a metropolis shaped by both the tangible and the mystical. And so, the Guardians faded into the shadows, their actions hidden from the prying eyes of the oblivious city. The balance between the living and the supernatural endured, a delicate equilibrium maintained by those who carried the weight of London's extraordinary history. The legacy of the Spectral Harbinger, once rooted in horror and fear, had transformed into a testament to the resilience of humanity and the enduring power of those who dared to confront the shadows that lurked beyond the veil. Decades had passed since the celestial convergence that sealed the Spectral Harbinger within its ethereal prison. Detective Jonathan Harper, now an elderly man, reflected on the passage of time as he gazed upon the bustling streets of London. The memories of supernatural battles and arcane mysteries had become the stuff of legends, stories shared in hushed tones among those who sought the hidden truths that lurked beneath the surface. Harper had long retired from active duty, but the weight of the past still lingered within him. The Guardians, the secret society that had emerged to protect the city from supernatural threats, continued their vigilance under the leadership of Lysandra. The delicate balance between the living and the unseen had endured, but whispers of a new disturbance reached Harper's ears. Rumors spoke of unusual occurrences, spectral sightings, and disturbances in the metaphysical fabric that hinted at an impending upheaval. The Guardians, vigilant as ever, sought to unravel the source of the disturbance before it could manifest into a tangible threat. As Harper delved into the reports and testimonies, he found a common thread linking the disturbances to an ancient artifact, the Shattered Prism. The artifact, long thought to be lost to the annals of history, was rumored to hold the key to unlocking the ethereal prison that bound the Spectral Harbinger. Haunted by the possibility of the malevolent force returning, Harper reached out to Lysandra, now a seasoned guardian with a deep understanding of the city's supernatural history. Together, they embarked on a quest to trace the origins of the Shattered Prism and prevent its nefarious potential from being unleashed. Their journey took them to forgotten archives, hidden sanctuaries, and occult scholars who possessed knowledge of the artifact's whereabouts. As they unraveled the layers of history, they discovered that the Shattered Prism had once been part of an ancient ritual intended to channel and manipulate spiritual energy. Legend spoke of a sect known as the Cult of the Veiled Serpent, practitioners of forbidden arts who sought to harness the power of the Spectral Harbinger for their own dark purposes. The Shattered Prism had been shattered during a failed attempt to summon the malevolent entity, its fragments scattered to prevent the completion of the ritual. Harper and Lysandra, armed with this knowledge, followed the trail of the Shattered Prism's fragments. Their journey led them to hidden realms, where the boundaries between the living and the supernatural blurred. The artifacts, imbued with residual energy from the Spectral Harbinger, whispered secrets that only those attuned to the arcane could comprehend. In a dimly lit chamber beneath an ancient cathedral, Harper and Lysandra encountered a guardian who had long remained in the shadows, a mysterious figure known as Ealdred. Ealdred, an immortal being with a history that stretched back centuries, revealed himself as a former member of the Cult of the Veiled Serpent. "I sought redemption for the sins of my past," Ealdred confessed, his eyes reflecting the weight of centuries. "I left the cult when I realized the malevolence we sought to control could not be tamed." The Shattered Prism was a failed attempt to imprison the Spectral Harbinger, but its fragments still hold the potential to unleash the darkness. Ealdred, burdened by remorse, joined forces with Harper and Lysandra to prevent the Shattered Prism from falling into the wrong hands. Together, they deciphered ancient texts, consulted ethereal beings, and followed a mystical map that pointed to the locations of the artifact's scattered fragments. Their quest took them to the outskirts of London, where an abandoned manor concealed the first fragment of the Shattered Prism. The manor, shrouded in an otherworldly mist, seemed to resist their intrusion. As they approached, the air thickened with a palpable tension, and spectral echoes whispered warnings of the malevolent force that lingered within. The Guardians, armed with arcane knowledge and artifacts passed down through generations, faced spectral guardians that protected the fragment. Harper, Lysandra, and Ealdred engaged in a supernatural battle that transcended the physical, their actions guided by the wisdom gained from previous encounters. As they retrieved the first fragment, the manor's spectral defenses wavered, revealing a glimpse of the malevolent force that sought to be unleashed. The Guardians pressed on, driven by a shared determination to prevent history from repeating itself. The journey continued, leading them to ancient ruins, hidden catacombs, and forgotten chambers where each fragment held a piece of the Spectral Harbinger's residual energy. With each retrieval, the Guardians could sense the malevolent stirring, the echoes of a force that sought to break free from its ethereal prison. As they gathered the fragments, the Guardians unraveled a deeper mystery. The cult of the Veiled Serpent, presumed to be long disbanded, had left behind remnants that persisted in the shadows. Whispers of a secret society, heirs to the cult's forbidden knowledge, hinted at a resurgence that paralleled the gathering of the Shattered Prism. The trail led them to the heart of the city, where a hidden chamber beneath the foundations of an ancient library concealed the final fragment. The air in the chamber vibrated with an unnatural energy, and the walls bore the symbols of the cult of the Veiled Serpent. It became apparent that the artifact's reunion had the potential to activate the ancient ritual once more. As Harper, Lysandra, and Eldred approached the final fragment, the chamber echoed with the disembodied laughter of unseen entities. The Guardians, surrounded by the whispers of the malevolent force, hesitated for a moment, the weight of their responsibilities pressing upon them. Eldred, drawing upon his knowledge of the cult's practices, initiated a protective barrier to shield them from the ethereal energies that surged in response to the artifact's proximity. The final confrontation with the remnants of the cult of the Veiled Serpent unfolded as spectral apparitions materialized, seeking to defend the last piece of the Shattered Prism. In the ensuing battle, the Guardians faced spectral adversaries who wielded the residual energy of the Spectral Harbinger. The air crackled with supernatural energies as the ethereal combatants clashed, their actions shaping the destiny of the artifact and the city itself. Harper, guided by the experiences of a lifetime, confronted the spectral entities with a resilience born from the struggles of the past. Lysandra, inheritor of the Guardian legacy, channeled the ancient arts to disrupt the spectral defenses. Eldred, burdened by the sins of his past, sought redemption by warding off the malevolent force. The climax of the battle saw the Guardians reclaiming the final fragment, its ethereal glow resonating with the ancient power that had bound the Spectral Harbinger. The laughter of the unseen entities turned into anguished cries as the Guardians, with a collective effort, resealed the fragment within a protective artifact that nullified its influence. The chamber fell silent, the malevolent force quelled once more. Harper, Lysandra, and Eldred stood amidst the remnants of the cult of the Veiled Serpent, the echoes of their victory reverberating through the ancient chamber. As the Guardians emerged from the hidden depths beneath the library, the city outside seemed to exhale, the air no longer burdened by the supernatural tension that had gripped its foundations. The Shattered Prism, once a potential harbinger of doom, had been rendered inert, its fragments contained within an artifact crafted to withstand the forces that sought to manipulate it. The Guardians, their mission fulfilled, gathered in solemn reflection. Eldred, having played his part in preventing the resurgence of the cult, faded into the shadows, his journey of redemption taking him to realms beyond mortal comprehension. Harper, now weary yet resolute, looked upon Lysandra with a sense of pride, passing on the mantle to the next generation. The artifact, holding the sealed fragments of the Shattered Prism, became a relic guarded by the Order of Guardians. Its secrets were buried within the annals of their records, a cautionary tale of the delicate balance between the living and the supernatural. As the years passed, Lysandra assumed the role of a mentor, guiding new Guardians who joined the Order. The legacy of Harper, Isabella, and the Guardians who had faced the Spectral Harbinger lived on, an enduring testament to the resilience of humanity against forces that transcended the natural order. London, forever marked by its supernatural history, continued to thrive as a metropolis where the tangible and the arcane coexisted. The stories of the Guardians and their battles against the forces of darkness became part of the city's folklore, shared among those who dared to seek the hidden truths that lurked beneath the surface. And so, the Guardians remained vigilant, their duty extending beyond the mortal realm. The delicate equilibrium between the living and the unseen endured, a testament to the enduring power of those who dared to confront the shadows that lurked beyond the veil. The legacy of the Spectral Harbinger, once rooted in horror and fear, had transformed into a safeguard for the city's extraordinary history, ensuring that the echoes of the past would guide the Guardians of the future.